water's fine, it's a celebration. No, we ain't stressing cause we on vacation. Not a care in the world today, baby. The sunshine.
What is up, everybody? I hope everyone has a great day today. We are back again on the Most Important Things podcast, episode number 8, with me, Kevin Barbers, and my co-host, Bobby AGT.
Hey.
How's it going, brother?
It's going really well. So happy to be here.
No
Took
doubt.
a little bit of a break. Took a week off. But we're back in action.
Man, we are back in action. We're back ready to attack. There's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be done. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of dive into it, We're just gonna kind of dive into it, right into it. Right off the top, shout out to our sponsors, Smith Anchor Apparel, Robert D. Smith and his wife, Stephanie Smith. For all your customized and personalized apparel needs, contact Smith Anchor Apparel. Contact me, contact Bobby. We will get you in touch with them.
It's true.
And also
for the modern, elegant gentleman, reach out to Brandis Beard Co. They have all your men's grooming needs, anything you can think of. Not really, just beard oil and beard balm, but check them out, Brandis Beard Co. Let's get into it.
yeah, if you'd like to support the show in any way, reach out to us and we can hook you guys up with with the connect to them, and we can go from there. So back to why we're here. So me and Bobby, we usually come on here and we usually have a laundry list of things to say. We usually prepare what we're going to say. But Bobby, what have we prepared?
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing, because we haven't been here in 2 weeks. So, let's start right off the bat. I haven't been in the best mental place lately. I've been really down. But my man Bobby AGT has been there supporting me and trying to kick my ass back into gear. And it has helped. A little bit. But yesterday, man, I had a little bit of an epiphany, and that you've been kind of, getting through to me, trying to get through to me, and I have a lot of work to do, Bobby. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, and I have a lot to do, and I'm overwhelmed sometimes by the work that I need to do to get back to where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I have so much to do in one day, but it's just impossible. I'm not going to get shit done in one day.
Right.
So, man, I'm looking at things like a big picture right now, like big. Everyone wants to, have a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Man, I just put it out there, 40-year plan. That gives me enough time to do whatever I need to do to be where I want to be in 40 years. And where I want to be in 40 years is just, I want to make an impact on the world every single day. So in 40 years, I know that I have made an impact on the world.
Right.
And I've made people's lives better, maybe made their mental state better, maybe, inspired them a little bit, to show them to never give up, have faith in what they're trying to do in life, and stay motivated by, the highs and lows that we go through in life. And man, they hit hard, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking
sure
those
do.
shits hit hard. I know you go through some shit as well. So how's everything been with you, bro?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd say 2 weeks ago, I was really feeling like the depression kicking me in the ass pretty hardcore. Same thing, no motivation, didn't want to get up, didn't want to do anything.
12 size 12 boot.
Yeah.
Kicking us in the ass.
Right in the ass.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable. But yeah, no motivation, didn't want to do anything. And yeah, it happens, from time to time. But like you've said in previous episodes, being able to keep yourself busy, have something on your plate, and kind of have something to attack can really get you out of that place, which I was able to find after about 3 or 4 days of kind of just dwelling and sitting and dwelling and doing what I do. And I'm like, why am I not further along? Why am I not making more money? I put myself in this position, but I'm not further than where I thought I was going to be. What the fuck, man? What's going on?
A lot of what the fucks.
Right, a lot of what the fucks. And then I'm like, all right, well, sitting here crying about it's not going to do anything. Right? I have to get up. I have to do something. I need to start moving. So that's what I did. I'm like, I want to try to build a brand. I talk about the word mindfulness all the time and meditation and how.
Don't you have a new page?
I do. That's what I'm getting at. I talk about meditation and how important it is, and I'm like, let's try to see if I can build a brand around mindfulness and meditation. So I started this new Instagram page, Circle of Mindfulness. Follow it if you feel like it. Where kind of I just talk about mindfulness. I talk about meditation. I talk about the importance of being mindful in your everyday actions. And I like kind of like what you do. I spread positivity. I spread, the good word, essentially. whatever good word I think is the good word that day.
Mm.
But yeah, so far so good. Got a lot of good responses and trying to grow that page day by day and kind of build a brand around myself as being the mindfulness guy, you know?
Yeah,
So-
man. You know, and I love it because you're always very meditationally, if that's a word.
Nope.
You know,
I don't
and
think it is, but yeah.
you're very mindfully. I try to come with the real high energy motivation, and what comes with my high level motivation when I'm not feeling at that at that level is really low level like draining energy, which that's the last thing I want to do. So what you're always trying to get through to me is, you can have the high level of energy, but be mindful and meditate. You're always telling me to meditate. So my lows aren't as low because, as you know, and as you see, and maybe as people see, that have stayed in, watching me, is my lows are low. They won't hear from me for a while. And it's like, well, and most likely if you're not hearing from me, it's because I'm feeling low, because I want to be posting every day. I truly do. And I don't know if that's a bad thing that I want to, because maybe I feel pressure, but there is no pressure when everything's going good. When everything's going good, I want to wish people a great day. I want to, put out motivation. I want to put out, good energy to the world. But when I don't have it, Bobby, I can't put it out there to the world.
Yeah. I know it seems like you're feeling lost at times when you're
Very lost.
when you're at your lows.
I am a lost boy from Neverland.
Usually hanging out with
Peter Pan.
That's a good song.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. But when you're feeling low and when you're feeling lost, why is my microphone so high? Sorry. Just trying to adjust the posture. When you're feeling low, when you're feeling lost, it's tough.
Oh shit! Hold on,
So many distractions.
Honestly, when I hear I don't know if they even heard that on camera, but we just heard a fire truck. Usually, when I hear a fire truck or like an ambulance, I always try to like say a prayer real quick,
That's fair.
because you never know.
That's fair.
But go ahead, continue.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say. When
you
you're
were
feeling low, when you're feeling lost,
Mhm.
it's tough to dig yourself out of that hole. We like to dwell on the things we should have done, and that's, like I said earlier, not going to get you anywhere, because the should have, it's already in the past.
Mhm.
Can't be changed. All we can change is how we move forward,
Yeah.
and that's kind of something you just need to tell yourself every time you're feeling like that. It's obvious that you experience these highs and lows. It's like a roller coaster. Everybody
yeah.
does it, but you've been down here before, and you know what it feels like. So next time that thought starts to creep in, it's your job
My job.
to be mindful
Yes.
and take it one step at a time.
To balance it out.
Balance it out. Decide how you're going to respond. I can respond with not getting out of bed. I can respond with not getting off the couch. Or I can respond with, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go fucking make a video.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to go on Instagram Live and I'm going to make a video.
Yeah, but you know what, Bobby? If people, when I first started like reaching out, when I first started like building my Instagram page, no one knew who the hell I was, really. I didn't have many followers. Nobody knew me really outside of my state, and even then, no one really knew me. Right. But I started posting everything on Instagram, which I've mentioned before, and people saw me as like a motivational guy. Yeah. Until my low set in, and they saw like, oh wow, this kid's struggling. He's trying to be a motivational guy. So I've realized, if anybody's actually going to listen to what we say or what I say, I need to be doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate everyone that's listening here. Everybody that we've attracted and that have gravitated towards us in this last year or whatever, and I appreciate you. But for us to really, have any more growth, man, I got to get out there. I got to start doing shit. I got to start saving money. I got to start connecting with, helping the world more than I do than outside the internet. I have to, whether it's, going to a nursing home or going to a food shelter or just following my dreams. And, even if it's going on stage again and open mics, and just trying to make people laugh or be motivating. There's just so many things that I can do that I haven't done or that I need to do more of for my voice to actually be a voice that people want to listen to in this world. Because right now I'm just a struggling up and down 28-year-old that still hasn't found his way in life. But man, this is why I set out this 40-year plan, because I always feel like I have so much to make up. Yeah. But in this big picture of how I'm looking at my life now, in 40 years I'll be 68. So, it makes it easier for me to break down. All right. make an impact on the world as much as you can each day rather than trying to make this huge impact in one day and then be let down because you feel like you didn't make as big of an impact that you're trying to. So, man, in the end, in 40 years, you know, I'll be further along looking at it that way as if I was like, all right, I'm going to try to do all this all in one day. And then, you know, by, you know, if it's Monday or Tuesday and then Wednesday, I'm like, oh, fuck, I didn't do anything. Yeah. I didn't accomplish as much as I thought I would. So now I'm just like let down again. So I think looking at this 40-year plan is going to help me just not be as let down.
Right.
You know?
Right.
2 mil 60 days has turned into 2 mil 40 years.
Hey.
Shout out to Travis. He's the one that gave me that idea.
Travis is giving ideas left and right these days, huh?
So I think that's more realistic, though.
Absolutely. And I try to live by that on a day-to-day basis. I don't necessarily have a 40-year goal, or a 40-year plan rather, but if that's what you need to do to stay consistent, then that's what you need to do.
Unfortunately, that's what I need to do.
Not unfortunate.
I mean, it's
not unfortunate at all.
Yeah. Well, I wish I had more balance in my life. Like everybody, like a lot of people that I see out here in life with families, with a good paying job or structure in their life, their day-to-day, you know, life, and they know what their next move is. I never know what my next move is. I mean, I'm underutilized right now in a job that I've complained about for so many years and I haven't done shit about.
Yeah.
So I need to, if I want to make a change in this life, I need to make that change. No one's going to make a change for me, and no one's going to make a change for anybody else that is complaining about where they are in life. I need to stop fucking complaining. I need to stop being a little bitch. And if I want to make a change, I need to make that change. And honestly, you know, having this podcast is really great, Bobby, but just doing this podcast will not take us or take me where I want to go. No. It's everything that we do in the weeks leading up to the podcast and the weeks that we are away from this podcast that we do to make this podcast worth listening to. Right. Because we can't just keep spitting the same mumbo jumbo every week saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then people just get sick of it. People are like, dude, you're a fucking bullshitter. Stop fucking bullshitting me. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my energy. You're wasting my emotions for something that is just a fucking dream that you're not even working towards. Yeah. So I think I need to, you know, buckle down and start doing some more shit.
I agree, 100%. I do feel that there's some people who do like the highs and the lows, kind of looking at it like a drama, you know? Kind of looking at like a
I'm
soap
a drama
opera,
show,
or like a soap opera. But I am too. Last week or 2 weeks ago rather, I was depressed little wimpy baby, you know? And
I was crying too, though.
Yeah,
we were like sharing
both
each other's
sad.
tears.
We were like hugging each other off camera. And I was like,
6 feet.
Yeah, hugging each other, air hugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm happy that you've had this revelation. Happy that you're here.
Yeah.
I'm happy that things are moving forward. And you're right. It's gonna be us individually and together building this story.
Yeah.
And that's what's gonna, you know, make it worthwhile.
This is a story.
It is a story.
It's 100% a story. There's been ups and downs for me. There's been ups and downs for you.
True. And I've been telling you, you know, you're telling me like, oh, I'm all upset. You know, I wish I was further along, blah, 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 blah. You're 28 years old. You're not 68 years old.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
In 40 years you will be.
If I get nothing done, then I'll be complaining.
Right. Then we can have this conversation again.
See, that's my biggest fear. I've probably said it on the podcast before. My biggest fear is not growing. But to grow, work must be put in. And, you know, it's not going to be easy. You know, it's time that it takes. You know, like we can't just wish shit to happen and say one thing and hope that it's going to travel, you know, to the world. It's like, no, we need to keep doing shit. And that's the hard thing about life, man, is, you know, we have this idea of what we want to do or where we're going to be, but how the fuck and what the fuck do we need to do to get there? That's the biggest mystery. If I had a blueprint, then maybe I would be further along, you know, where I'm trying to go or where this podcast is going to be. But that's the hardest part, is actually figuring out what the hell needs to be done to get whatever we're trying to get out of this.
Yeah, and that's different for everybody. I think the most important thing is happiness, peace of mind, and your purpose will expose itself at some point. I think it's evidently clear what your purpose is. It might be just my perspective, but I guarantee it's a handful of people watching's perspective as well. Your purpose is to shine your light and do what you're doing. You know, you're putting out this positive message constantly. When you're feeling bad, you're not doing that, though.
Yeah, it sucks.
But it's obvious that's your purpose. So I think what you need to do is when you're feeling down is you need to fucking buckle up and get on that Instagram and talk to some people.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. You know, you did your Instagram lives. You know,
I'm crying to you before it.
yeah, you crying to me before. We were talking
Not
on the
literally,
phone, and he's
but-
like, I don't know, I feel like shit, blah, 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 blah. And then we hang up, and then he goes, Kevin Barbers is live on Instagram. I click on it, and this motherfucker's like, how's everybody doing?
And
You
I
know?
come alive.
Yeah, come alive. And then the more people you talk to, the more you come alive, and the more stories you're hearing and you know, empathizing with, and just you're having a connection with a person, you become more alive.
Yeah, and it's nuts. I'm baffled by how I'm able to do that because, you know, like beforehand, when I first started doing these Instagram lives, and they've been going really good, you know, talking all walks of life, and it's been going really good and really fun. And I haven't been, for as good as they've been these last few weeks, you know, I've had a little anxiety leading up to it, and like, you know, not really looking forward to it. Not necessarily people, because the people are all great, but internally myself, like shit, like I hope this goes good because I just don't feel my best. But Bobby, honestly, I look forward to doing them this week.
Yeah.
I really do. And I actually set up a few for tomorrow as well. And I'm usually doing it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
But I set up a few for tomorrow, and I really look forward to talking, you know, to these few people because I'm back in that I'm back in a mindset that I want to be in. I don't know how long, but I know that I need to stay here.
You got to stop saying that.
I know.
You got to stop saying
All right,
that.
all
bro.
right.
I sent you this fucking video this morning. Words matter,
Yeah.
right? And you sent me back, what'd you send me back? Some fucking bullshit about
I said a gallon of water matters.
gallon of water matters. Like, no motherfucker. And then you put,
And-
let me pull up the text message. Hold on.
And then I
have
said
the text message.
I need to turn a new leaf today.
Yeah, I need to turn a new leaf today. And I said, no, you need to stop saying I need to, and you just need to fucking do it.
And I
That's
will.
why words matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You keep saying, I don't know how long I'm going to feel this way. That's on you, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Like, yeah, like the negativity and the negative mindset's going to try to penetrate. But then it's Kevin's job to, I feel that something's trying to chime in. It's not me. And then figure it out.
So when I say things like that, what comes to your mind to throw at me? A right hook, left hook, right head kick, knee, choke me out? What-
George Masvidal to Ben Askren.
Just
knee to
5
the
seconds
face, bro.
flying knee.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
You know what
I
I'm
better
saying?
watch out.
Especially when I say it like 4 times in a row.
And I'm just like, I need to do that.
I need to do this. I need to do that. But like you said last night on our phone call, you're like, oh, I don't know how you put up with me. I'm like, I have 2 kids, so
Yeah,
it's
so he's
not
calling me a
it's
kid.
not too hard.
But
Travis
you
is
know, I
like
put
that
up
over
with
there, too.
you too
That's true.
as well, and I'm sure.
What do you put up about me, huh? Let's hear it.
Well, a few weeks ago when we did the podcast, you know, I'm like, yo, we might have 2 or 3 guests on. You're like, what the fuck, man? I only want to do one. I don't even want to do one. I'm like, yo,
That's not true. That was. I don't want
I think
the.
we'll pull up the footage.
you were
Yeah, go ahead.
hangry
Go ahead.
too.
I was hangry as fuck.
No, there was no footage because this was off camera.
Yeah, this was off camera. No, it was just. I would rather quality over quantity.
Yeah, but
They
you
all-
know that I only
They
get
all
good
were-
guests.
That's true. That's true. It's just-
This was before I gave you the names of the guests and who I told you they
that's
were.
true. You just hit me with a number.
Yeah, I
And
was like, yo, I got 3 guests coming.
I
Like, what the
know,
fuck?
bro. Like, I'm trying to fucking.
I'm trying to go eat some tacos. Yo, I had tacos the other day
I know.
from Chipotle.
No, you didn't. I'm talking about that live video.
Yeah,
we made.
that was great too.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, man, fucking, you know,
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry I acted that way.
yeah, no, it's all good, you know, because like I said, we even each other out because I almost need you to act like that so then I can have some ammo, you know, for the on you because you have a lot of ammo on me. You know, you take care of me, so I have to take care of you back. But we're all gonna. That's the thing about life is like, that's what we're all here for. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one lives a perfect fucking life.
Yeah.
No one is happy 24/7. You know, and it's funny because people used to think that I was. Like, when I first started putting out these videos last year, they're like, you know, you're the most positive, upbeat person I've ever seen. I'm just like, no, I'm not. You know, I try to be, but I watch these lows, and now people see that I have lows, and, you know, a lot of people dropped off, but fuck them.
I think that's why I gravitated towards you.
Yeah.
Because I saw that you were positive all the time, and then I noticed, you know, I looked for the pattern. I saw that you were live constantly and around the same time, and then one day you weren't for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
I was like, that's weird. Let me message this guy just see if he's all right. And then you told me, and I'm like, oh, he's a real guy.
Yeah.
He's not just this fucking Tony Robbins put on the face all day, every day, and you know, and not to say Tony Robbins is a faker, because has been a huge inspiration.
Yeah,
for a lot
Tony
of
Robbins is
people,
the man.
But
Tony
You get-
Robbins, Les Brown,
you
E.T.,
get what I'm saying? Yeah, for
Gary
sure,
V.
for sure. That leads me That leads me to what I
Well,
chatted
Phone
with-
Home? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
not
Eric
that-
Thomas.
not that
E.T., the hip hop preacher.
hip hop preacher. Hey, last night we were chatting and we're like, I wonder, like, what can we do to kind of modify your America's Got Talent?
Yes.
Audition.
Oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Oh, for all of our listeners right now, I am not going on America's Got Talent alone next year.
Oh, I'm not going with you.
No. I'm not. I'm going alone, but I am not going to be creating my America's Got Talent act alone.
We're developing an act.
We are developing an act. Bobby AGT and Kevin Barbers. I will be going on the stage. I will be performing, but I mean, let's give our listeners a little sneak peek of exactly what you said. Tell them how you think the format should be, and it's not going to start with "Hey, look, my main is," and it's going to build it up. Tell it all about it.
But it is going to build up, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, I feel like maybe you should approach it a little differently. You know, in your mindset, you had this specific
Yeah.
spiel, and you wanted to go a specific way, timing wise.
I came in too intense.
A little too intense.
I went from intense to too intense. And
Right.
how do you think this should be done?
I think you should tell a story.
Yeah.
I think you should write a story.
Calmly. Start
Write
calmly.
a story. Very similar to if you go to YouTube and you type in motivational
Yeah.
fucking whatever.
Just kind of build it up.
That first video, I guarantee it's Eric Thomas,
Mm.
and it is just you hear the cellos, you hear the
Yeah.
nice orchestrated music come
Yep.
in, and you hear Eric Thomas talk about when I was a young boy. He just starts the story off nice and calm.
I used to watch my dogs home.
What?
It's from a movie.
Oh, okay.
When I was a young boy, I used to watch my dogs home.
Oh, Jesus
go ahead.
Christ. But started off slow. Started off painting a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Paint a picture for the audience.
Paint a picture. I know. That's the thing. I didn't paint the picture.
You
I
gotta
just
paint a picture.
came too fast, splashing them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's
They
too
don't
much
need that.
splash.
They don't need that.
And they're confused.
They want an
I
emotional
confused.
roller coaster.
Right. Yes. I think I and even through my open mics, I think I was confusing people. You know, and I think that I'm going to come up with something, Bobby. And like you said, tell a story, really work it up, really work it up,
And as
really
the
work it up.
story intenses, the music intenses, and you know, just fucking, it's just all this. It's this whole thing. It's
Yeah.
a whole like lighting, boom, bang,
Yeah.
boom. You know, the music goes with when you transition in the story to this part of your life where you were at your lowest point, and
Yep.
bah, bah, bah. And then at the end, fucking.
Yeah. No. No, hey, look what I made it this time.
I was talking about the golden. Buzzer.
Oh,
I was talking
okay.
about the golden buzzer, bro.
I know.
And then, hey, look, ma, I made a drop.
Oh, okay. All right. Maybe America's Got Talent
They'll
can then
do that.
play it.
They'll
Maybe
do it.
they can play
in
it.
that slow motion golden buzzer.
Yes.
scene.
Oh my God, Bobby. I'll be like, shout out to Bobby AGT.
Hey, like, where's my money?
Oh man,
Just kidding.
dude, that would be insane, bro.
You're gonna
But
get
you know what? What's that?
That's Travis listening to voicemails.
Okay. Well, listen. You know, that's gonna happen, bro.
Mhm.
That's gonna happen. And I've been saying this. I'm building a team out here. We are building a team. I can't do this alone. If you are watching, you are on my team. And we're going to win this together. We're going to straight up win this together. I'm going to shoot my shot again on America's Got Talent.
Hey.
And my man Bobby AGT here is going to help me with the setup. He's going to help me with the format. He's going to help me with the build up. He's going to, you know, throw some trumpets and you know, the he's going to put something just very calm. Boom. 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 Go ahead, do it. So my name is Kevin Barber. I'm out here in life trying to figure something out. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know I have a purpose. I know that we all have a purpose. I don't know exactly what it is, but here I am on America's Got Talent.
You're doing a great job.
And I'm here to motivate the world.
Hey.
I am a nobody. The world does not know me, so how can I then motivate the world? But this is my purpose. I am here, out here, living a story so I can tell a story. Where's the build-up, Bob?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull something up on the computer.
Boom! Hey, look, I made it.
Can't get there.
Man, this podcast is going in all fucking sorts of directions. But we need this shit. You know, you had a few friends tell you, maybe we won't say any names, but they reached out to you the first couple episodes and they said, episode 1's almost the same thing as episode 2. No, it's not. And we're gonna keep changing this up because we're gonna keep delivering different energy every single time and more energy, more more build up, whatever we have to do, whatever was on our minds. And man, I fucking hit a deer yesterday.
Tell us all about that.
Dude, I'm feeling great
Man.
I'm feeling great mentally yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Like I just got off the phone with you and I'm out here door dashing, you know. I'm on my Instagram live.
Making that money.
Yeah, I'm making like $7 a delivery. I'm, you know, $1 a mile and shit, you know, $14 an hour, a little bit like that. Minus gas and hourly pay and fucking, yeah. But I'm talking to my man Q, MMA KO's Boxing, and he's giving me some supportive words. But I'm looking at the road because, you know, I got my little phone and I got the little hook on the phone and it's hanging. And man, he's you know, he's saying some good stuff. And boom, play the tape.
Meaning,
Holy shit, I just hit a fucking deer, dude. Holy
No.
shit.
are you alright? Is the car right?
Oh my fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I was, as you can see, I was laughing because I felt great. If I was in a bad mental place, Bobby, I wouldn't have been laughing. I would have been crying.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah. But luckily, I've been able to, and that's the funny thing about life, man. You know, like I was just down yesterday.
Yeah.
And I had an epiphany last night where I'm just like, yo, I gotta stop looking at this short-term shit because I'm not gonna get anything done. And I'm not gonna want to get anything done because I'm just gonna feel like I have so much to get done. So yeah, I had this epiphany, 40 years, man. I'm gonna get to work. And you know what? It's gonna start with America's Got Talent, man. I'm not going to set my goal up high saying I will make the show and I will win the show because that was my mistake last year. I was telling people I'm going to make the show and I had the confidence that I was going to, but I was super let down when I didn't make the show. I did get on the show for a few seconds. Throw that up, Bob. I got on for a few seconds. I took that as a small victory. You know, and I'm going to keep building on that because, I mean, I don't know what possessed them to do that. I mean, maybe it was just by random.
Usually that stuff is, but take it as a sign.
Yeah.
Take it as a victory, like you said, a small victory.
Yeah. Did we say on the podcast, too, that the winner of America's Got Talent last year was a spoken word poet and I went on there as a motivational speaker?
No, you didn't say that.
Yeah. I went on as a motivational speaker and the winner was a spoken word poet. So someone that speaks words and to connect with people emotionally through their words won it. Is that not along the same lines of kind of what I did?
Definitely, which is why I think you need to approach it differently. And
Yeah,
that's why you need to
different
come
approach.
Come at it with this new format and make it an emotional thing as
Yeah.
opposed to because like you said, you want everybody to be here with you,
Right.
And you start off.
I
like that.
started there. That was the problem.
Right. You got to make people want to feel it.
Right.
You got to make them tingle.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then tears.
Yeah,
And
and
then
really build
happiness.
them up, and let's build on it together and together. Because, like I said, if I start there, everyone's just confused.
Yeah.
You know, because like, all right, you're fucking crazy. You know, you look crazy, and I've looked crazy, and I've gotten reactions from my open mics that people look at me like I'm fucking crazy, and not only do they look at me like I'm crazy, they want me fucking off the fucking set. You know, I've had that vibe too, and watching, you know, my open mics back. I remember I'm listening to one girl. I'm like, "Are you ready for the sequel?" And she's like, "No, please get off the stage." And I heard it on my phone afterwards, listening to it. And then another one, I started saying shit, and this girl's laughing, and I'm focusing on them instead of focusing. I think I said this on another episode, but I was focusing on them instead of focusing on the people that were listening, the people that could appreciate what I was doing.
Yeah. Like what's that guy's name?
Tony Robbins?
No.
Tony. Oh yeah, Tony. That's right. Yes, we did speak about that.
Tony.
But yeah. So I know we're jumping around, but man, I also want to touch on the fact that I put something on my Facebook. You know, I was looking for people that I was looking for someone that is that knows an open sales position. You know, because I would be good in sales. You know, I'm good with people, and I like to think I'm good with people when I'm good with myself. So I reached out to Facebook. I don't know if I reached out to Facebook, but my friend reached out to me. She's actually my old babysitter. Shout out to Vicky. And she said, "Hey, my sister's place is."
That's kind of funny. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you. Vicky is the name of the evil babysitter from the Fairly Odd
Oh
Parents.
my God, you're right. Oh my God, but she was not evil.
But she's the best. Shout
Yeah,
out to
she
Vicky.
was the best because I think my parents paid her extra one night because it was
I would hope so for a kid like you.
oh man, I puked all over the place and she cleaned it up.
Well, I would hope so.
Yeah. Well, she
She didn't have to. Yeah.
it wasn't. I'm puking. I'm like 8, 9 years old. I don't know what if I had too much food.
That whole
or-
fucking barbecue chicken pizza.
Oh my God! Shout out to when I almost drowned. So yeah, man. So where was I? Yeah. So she reached out to me and she said, my sister is looking for someone. My sister's car dealership is looking for someone to to work there. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. So I went there. I forget the name of the place. It was in Raynham. I don't even remember the name. But I went there, Bob, and I talked to two people, like the owner and the manager or something, and it went great. Like everything was going great. They're like, all right, we'll just have to do a background check, and then that's when it went wrong. I killed somebody. No, I'm just kidding. Right? No, they said everything will go great. We just need to do a background check and you can start Monday. I said, all right, hold on 1 second though. I just have to let you know that on Mondays I do a podcast and I've been doing Wednesday through Friday. I talk to all walks of life. And he was like, yeah, but does that make you money? And I was like, nah, but it's something that I truly believe in. It's something that I'm truly passionate about. Mm-hmm. And, I just don't want to lose that. But I can work Tuesday through Saturday, 8 to 4, which is 8, that's 40 hours right there. And then Saturday, 8 to whatever. So who knows? It could have been 50 hours. Mm-hmm. But I guess it turned them off that I was already dictating and I'm not even working for them yet. So it is what it is, But I feel like, I don't know. I had something inside me telling me to do that. Yeah. So tell them that.
You got to understand that sales jobs are like, if you want to make money, you got to be there like 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is because you got to consider that the people who are coming to buy cars are working until 5 o'clock. So they're not even going to be there until 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
So you're going to have slow days and then, pick up in the later evenings. But it is what it is, And the whole Monday thing, like this podcast day can change if necessary. I want you to get your money straight first. So like if a job comes up and they're like, yeah, you need to work Mondays, it's required. That's fine.
Well, as I said, I have a lot of work to do, and I honestly plan on putting that work in this week. I'm going to be working on the job for my dad this week, but when I get off work, or hopefully if I can wake up early enough, I'm going to be trying to set up interviews as well with, a sales position or just something that I can enjoy, something that I have structure, something that, I'm guided towards knowing my next move. Because when I'm working on the job, vinyl siding, it's like I just never know what I'm doing next, and there's a lot of walking around like a lost puppy. I'm walking on that. I'm a helper, and this is something I feel like I'm going backwards in life because I've been a helper the last 10, 11 years. And, I always feel like I'm going back to being a helper, and it's just not fun. The guy I work with, Jimmy, I enjoy Jimmy's presence a lot, but it goes beyond Jimmy. It goes within me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I can hang out with Jimmy on the weekends and watch the UFC fights and enjoy his presence that way. Yeah. But working on the job, doing vinyl siding, I just fucking hate it. But like I said, it's on me to do something about it. I can't just fucking complain about it on this podcast or complaining about it to the people around me. I got to go out there and fucking do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I plan on doing in these next few weeks. Like I said, just looking at the bigger picture of life, my man.
Definitely. And like I've said before, and I know you feel that way when you're there, when you're doing the work. You feel like a lost puppy. But you should be ultimately grateful for that.
Oh, no. Well, that's what it is. I'm super grateful. I actually just talked to my dad this morning, about kind of all this. And like I said, I just got to quit complaining if I am grateful. Like I'm super grateful. And that's the sad thing that brings me down the most is because I am so blessed. Yeah. I have so much to be grateful about. You guys, my mother, my father, they're there for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what makes me feel the shit the most, shitty the most, is because I have so much to be grateful for. And then when I'm feeling down, it's like, I'm like, why the fuck do I feel like this? I am in such a better position than so many people all over the world that rise above their bullshit. I need to rise above this shit. So honestly, Bob, I'm so grateful that yesterday I was able to feel better because I want to use this momentum. And it starts with my mental. It starts with my physical. It starts with, drinking a gallon of water every day. It starts with eating better, running every single day. Because, man, I've put on some weight just in these last 3 weeks. And it's not me, man. I've always been a skinny dude, when I was like in high school and
Yo,
stuff.
you sent me a picture a few weeks ago of you in high school, and like I think you sent it to me on like
Oh yeah,
by mistake or
yeah.
something like that, and I was like, holy shit, you look like a little toothpick.
I was in like 8th grade at that point, 7th grade, and yeah, I was tiny.
I was the same way.
I meant to send it to my buddy Kobe. Man,
Has my hat
so
been backwards the whole time?
your head?
My hat.
Yeah, it has.
Oh really?
Yeah, why did it magically go?
No, I wanted it to be forward. I just didn't realize it was backwards.
Yeah, it's
We got to
backwards.
start all over again.
Oh shit! All right, what is up, everybody?
What? Oh, good. Yeah.
There you go. What is up, everybody? Just kidding. But yeah, man. So I don't know if we're gonna do this every week still, or are we gonna do this every 2 weeks? But I want to make sure, Bobby, that the next time we do this, I have something to tell the people. And I want people to look forward to this podcast by the daily track of what we're doing outside of this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Building
Like
up.
I want to do some shit in these next few weeks, and you know, and that's the thing. Like I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
But just do something.
Just work on yourself. Make your money
Yeah.
and
Save.
save and be the best you can be every day.
Mm.
You know, and like I said, your purpose is clear.
Yeah.
You need to get on that phone and talk to people every day,
Yeah.
like dead ass.
Well, my buddy Q was telling me how people you know feel comfortable coming on my Instagram live and saying everything is because of how open I am.
Exactly.
And I haven't realized that until like he really brought it to my attention because man, a lot of people open up.
Bro, I've been saying to you this whole fucking time. Like some kid on the podcast the other day was like, or on your Instagram live was like, you know, you give us this platform and you make me feel this way, and I'm like, that's what
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
bro.
yeah, you did
you
say
make
that.
people feel that way. I wouldn't fucking be here. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Love you, brother.
Love you too, but
That's some real shit. I love the intensity today.
because you pissed me off.
I'm gonna keep pissing you off. Then I'm gonna keep pissing you off
Man.
because yeah, man, you know. It's some real shit though. This life's some real shit, and I want to make people feel that way because I want us all to feel that way. And like I said, this Instagram live chat that I'm doing, I want to build a platform for others to then have the same platform to do the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, like if I can talk to, you know, if I set out a time frame where I'm doing that weekly, I'm not gonna have the opportunity to talk to everybody, but I want like-minded people like me that think the same way I do that can then make those people feel comfortable to share their story too. Because my man, shout out to my man Dalton, JD Beretta. That dude he shared some shit on that Instagram live. I think you were in there. And man, he went deep just like
Almost
everybody
did.
No, they all did. My man Token, my man Dustin Sulo, Sam Wolf, Manny Mendonca, you know, Stephanie Monuick, Chelsea Tucker, shoot.
Shout out to Manny. I've been trying to keep up with sending stars to Manny on his streams.
Yeah.
But my wife yelled at me and said I gotta stop spending money.
Oh shoot.
I was like, so more stars coming your way at some point, Manny. I love you, dude.
Yeah, man. Just you know, I kind of want to give a shout out to everybody that came on because it's like, you know, all these people, they're sharing their story and they're going deep, bro. They're going deep. My man Mikey Damagala of NBA Inside Buzz. You know, my man Abdullah. Man, so many great people. My man Leonard Jones came on. My friend Cassie McCalla. My friend Cassie. My other friend Cassie. Like,
Back to back Cassies.
I think it's Cassie Jackson. But it's like, Cassie Jackson. I'm sorry, I forgot your last name, Cassie. But I just got so much things flowing through my brain right now. I'm just trying to give everyone a shout out. You know, shout out to everybody, though. You know, shout out to Lauren. Shout out to Devin Sunshine. Shout out to Robin Black. You know, shout out to my man Bob Maloney. You know, shout out to my man, my girl Rayleigh Pure. Shout out to my man Bobby AGT, who's always, you know, filling in, guest appearances.
Filling in.
Shout
That's me.
the fill-in.
Just call me Michael Chandler.
Right. Shout out to my man Christian Spina, who shared his addiction story. Just so many. Shout out to my man Grayson Moore, who shared his cancer story. Shout out to my man Matty Ode, who shared his cancer story. Man, we're getting some deep shit. Shout out to my man Travis, who came on during his daughter's soccer practice. You know, shout out to just everybody. Shout out to my friend Mel's Bells, you know, from Denmark. Man,
That's where
who
she's
else?
from. I was just trying to figure out where she was from.
Yeah, shout out to my man Stronger by Sam. Shout out to Kayla Love Music. Shout out to William Artro. Man, I hope I didn't miss anybody. Shout out to my man Derek McMillan. You know, these are all people that have been coming on my podcast this last 3 weeks, sharing some real shit, sharing some things in their life that they don't share with anybody else because no one makes them feel that way. I guess you're talking that I make people feel comfortable enough to speak on this shit. But I'm happy that I'm able to do that because I'm here speaking on some shit. So if I have the right to speak on some shit on the Most Important Things podcast, on Instagram, on all these fucking platforms, I want to then give. Oh, shout out to my man Tyler Moore. Man, I don't want to miss anybody, bro. There's just been so many great people, and I hope everyone can listen to this. And you know
how Kevin is like back on his A game when Travis doesn't need headphones on.
Why? I give him a headache.
You're loud as fuck, bro.
Oh man,
Yeah, I literally took them off because I'm like,
man.
and
And I hope
this
people
is
don't
great
get-
stuff. I just don't need them.
Yeah, well, you can hear me like 2 feet away.
Loud
from
and clear.
Oh,
That was like
man.
episode 1 of the podcast, right? So we Travis leases this space.
Hold on,
here.
hold on. Shout out to my man Miguel Quinones. Shout out to my man Crystal Levant. Go ahead. Shout out to my man Sly Moosey. Go ahead.
Yeah, Chris Levant, right? He's the bare knuckle fighter.
Yeah.
Kid's a fucking beast.
Yeah, he's a savage.
Beast.
He's a fucking savage.
Hell yeah.
I already said Dustin Sulo.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to my man Josh Shagnon, man. Like I said, I just don't want to miss anybody. Who knows if they're all going to... Corey Costa. I honestly can't wait for this week. Man, I had a protein shake earlier. My fucking stomach's like hurting. I need to drink another gallon of water or something. But I'm actually in a little bit...
all you've had?
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Well, I had a muffin, too.
Okay.
And some protein balls.
Protein muffin.
But
Too much protein, bro. You're going to even that shit out.
I know. I'm actually in a little bit of pain right now, but I'd rather be in physical pain than mental pain. Because my mental, as you can see, I'm spitting, I'm firing it, and you know what, Bobby, this might be bad for my brain, man. I honestly don't know if spitting like this is bad for my brain because it's like I'm overworking it, and you know I'm probably gonna come to a halt again where I feel down, and I hope I don't, man. And you know I just try to just get everything out when I can because I just never know when that low is gonna hit, and
I feel you. I feel like a release like that is necessary.
yeah.
But quieting your mind is also extremely necessary. In fact, it might be the most important thing. Mindfulness, baby.
100%.
Work on it. Practice it. Embody it. What was I going to say about episode 1? Oh, yeah. Fucking the energy. Episode 1, right? And Travis leases the space here, and there's neighbors, right? We've got people in an office right behind us here.
Yep.
And I just remember vividly. I took my headphones off. Maybe we can find the actual episode 1, but I took my headphones off just to see how loud Kevin actually was.
Oh, it's come true. You know?
I think so.
And starting from where we started, a little teaser that you threw it out there to me, and you were like, yo, I'm getting this room going. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Boom. It was out there. Now there's substance to it. Yeah, I do remember you doing that. I was watching that back the other day.
And I was like, holy shit. And then I bumped into one of these guys outside. I was like, hey, man, I'm sorry for too loud. He goes, no, you're fine. All right, cool.
Oh, man. Hey, hold on, though. I'm sorry, bro. I can't miss anybody. Shout out to my man Alex Mello. Shout out to my man Jan. Shout out to my man Crispy. I don't want to miss anybody, man.
Well,
Shout out to my man Vidvarv Hama. Shout out to my man Sam Shulman. Just so many people, man.
Hey,
Shout
that
out to
guy-
my man Daryl.
that guy follows me.
Velton. What's up, bro? Kevin McKenzie.
3 names ago.
My man Mark, a biker named Timber Cruz.
The good news about this, Kevin, is that we're going to be doing this again next week.
Yeah, shout out to my man Pop Pepe.
If there's anybody you missed, you just say it next week.
I know.
Nope.
Shout out to my man Chris Matinho. I think I got it. Oh, shout out to my man Mike Awesome.
I'm just going to sit back and relax, let you do your thing.
Yeah, shout out to my man Martin Daniel. These are just all people that I've talked to, though, in these last few weeks, man. And
Bobby, want to go get some tacos?
Yeah, you want to go grab a few
all right, yeah.
tacos?
Shout out to this. Shout out to that.
Kevin's just going to fuck
Shout out to my Marshall Man.
You already said that. No, I'm just kidding. He started following me on Instagram as well,
Yeah,
too.
he did. He did.
Nice little community we're building here.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Moon Man.
Insert a little SpongeBob. 2 hours later.
2 hours later.
I think that's everybody. I truly think that is everybody. And I'm glad and I'm happy that I was able to to say everybody because, yeah, first part of Instagram live chat. Yeah. All right. Reset, you know. All right.
You got anything else you want to talk about before we bring on our guest?
Man, we have a great guest. We have a comedian coming on. I don't know. He should be coming on soon. But, yeah, man, we got a comedian, host of MMA Roasted, Adam Hunter. And I told them what our podcast is about: positivity, motivation, mental health, and man, I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that goes into being a comedian, and I can't wait to talk to him because he's a funny dude, and he's an MMA fan, which is freaking awesome.
There you go. I'm a funny guy, and I'm an MMA fan. So, just kidding. Not that funny.
Well, he's a little older than us, so he's put in more work than us, and that's what I've learned in life. It's like, bro, if you're just willing to put in the work, like, people will gravitate towards you, you know, because we all have this sense of gravitation that will attract a certain genre of people, and that is where the team is built. And in that, I think we make their life better, and they make our lives better, and it's just creating, you know, just a beautiful thing, something that's meant to be. It's like when we're living life and you feel like something's missing. You know what I'm saying? It's like what the game's been missing, Joel Santana. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. But it's like we are that thing that's missing, but we need to get ourselves to that point that people can find us. You know what I'm saying? And they know what people know where to find us. Our people know where to find us, but the world doesn't know where to find us. And there's people that are not going to gravitate towards us. There's going to be people that go as far as away from us as possible. But that's okay, because the farther away they get away from us, the closer they get to what they need in their life. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So we're actually helping them in that way.
I like how you turned that into that.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's like,
I thought you were gonna say fuck those people.
No,
you're
not
right.
at all. Not at all. They're the farther they go away from us, the closer they're gonna get to to whoever it is that they gravitate towards.
Man, you're such a wise man.
I'm not, though.
No,
I'm not.
But you are.
I'm not.
Listen, motherfucker. Listen. You are. But something is just trying to take control.
The evil.
And that's not you. Yeah. So you need to start stomping that motherfucking evil out.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the worst feeling. And we talked about this last night. The worst feeling is not feeling anything. All right? Literally, it's like, bro, when I have to force myself to think about what I have to say, it's because I am feeling nothing, you know? And when I am feeling shit, that's when things just flow. There's less there's less, words to think of. There's just less whatever it is that you're trying to think of, because the more I feel, the more I'm able to communicate.
Yeah.
You know, and you say I'm wise, man. I have so much to learn in life, Bobby. I don't know shit. That's why I say I'm not wise. I try to put myself around wise people because there are so many wise people in this world that we can learn from. And I will continue to put myself around those wise people because I have so much to learn, dude. I have so much to learn. I have so much work that I need to put in to get me whatever is going to truly fulfill my heart in the end. And that's just making this world a better place, one person at a time, and that one person sharing one person to one person. Shout out to everybody, all my people in Ireland, my man Luke Foley, my man Dylan Deneen, who saw my page and shared it to all of his friends, Mike Fitz, Michael Flan, Luke Foley, Keelan Christie, and we all got on a live together.
Conor McGregor,
everybody. But it's like, that's how things are spread, and it's going to continue to spread. I just got to stay mentally focused, man. Yeah. Because I truly feel like I can bring something of goodness to the world if my fucking head is just strapped on tight.
The reason I call you wise is because, you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly. What
I don't think that's wise, though. I don't think that's the definition of wise.
It's not. But you have.
It's not.
you have the tools.
Okay.
It's just you're not choosing to use those tools.
Well, you know what it is, though? Sometimes that toolbox is fucking locked. I got the tools, but I can't fucking use them because something is preventing me from using them. And that is the devil, the evil.
Guess what? Exactly. It's an outside force, and you are the locksmith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Only you got that access. Fuck that guy. It's vibrational, man. It really is. It's tuning into a frequency. And when you're feeling low, it's a negative frequency. It's not you. It's your antenna of a brain is somewhere else. All right? And like I've said to you, and I say there's a voice inside your head. You say there's a couple. There's one that's louder than the other. Right?
Yeah.
Right. That one's in charge.
Yeah.
I
know, but sometimes it gets dimmed. Like, he's in charge, but sometimes You know, who sometimes people that lead the charge, they get assassinated. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes it gets assassinated and it gets reborn. You know, like I'm reborn right now, but it might get assassinated again.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say it again, and you're gonna be like, "I'm real fucking sick of you saying this, man." But you need to start, on top of drinking more water and eating better, you need to start doing what this motherfucker's doing and meditating on a daily basis. I swear to fucking God, man. It's that simple, dude. 15 minutes guided meditation. Go to YouTube, type in 15-minute guided meditation, and just sit there. If you don't have 15 minutes to sit there, what the fuck are you doing with your life? You don't have 15 minutes to sit down and relax? I'm gonna literally not say a word for 15 minutes. Keep going.
15 minutes is now 15 seconds. But yeah, man, just doing that. It's definitely something I'm gonna do. Start doing.
It's an exercise, dude. And just like you go to the gym and you build your bicep, you teach your brain that quiet is okay. And you focus on your breath. You bring your attention back to your breath. There is no way in hell that a thought is not going to intrude. Yeah. It's impossible because you're a fucking antenna.
Yeah.
And your thoughts and other people's thoughts and some other person's thoughts and from another fucking universe are probably all coming to this antenna.
Yeah.
And your job is to bring it back to your breath. And then another thought comes in and you bring it back to your breath.
5G.
5G, baby. No, that's cancerous.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. 5G. Don't trust 5G.
Yeah. I don't know what to trust.
That's for
anymore,
another episode, though.
I don't know what to trust.
The only thing you can trust is
yourself.
Yeah. And the good vibrations you're feeling in your everyday actions. If it's making you feel good, keep doing it. If it's not, don't keep. And there's good feeling things that aren't good. You know, like gambling, like going to a strip club, like all that shit.
Yeah.
Stomp that evil out.
Well, yeah. I don't know what to take from that. But yeah, gambling is definitely bad.
Don't do that. No more gambling.
Gambling is bad.
What about strip clubs, though?
I mean,
nothing wrong with the strip club.
Single, man.
Sex workers, man. I support sex workers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
But we're taking a tangent here.
Yeah.
Let's welcome on our first guest.
First guest. No, we got to take.
Only guest of the day.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll just take a break.
I'm just ending it, and then he's going to come on as if it's next.
Well, we're going to say his entrance. All right, we can.
Yes, of course. And then we're going to.
Are we on right now?
Yeah.
You going to edit this out?
Hell yeah.
This is raw and uncut. This is real shit. All right, without further ado, we have our guest coming on the show. We have comedian and host of MMA Roasted Podcast, Mr. Adam Hunter. How's it going, my man?
It's going great, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. We're just kind of starting up new. This podcast is called The Most Important Things. We bring on kind of all walks of life. So I love to get, I was like intrigued to be able to reach out to you and get a comedian on here. I'm sure you're going to come with some fire. We focus on mental health, motivation, and positivity, but we also love entertainment as well,
Yeah, totally.
So no doubt. So my name's Kevin Barbers. This is my man, Bobby AGT. And right off the bat, man, I'm interested to know what it took to become to get you to where you are today. What did it take, through your journey of just everything you've done in your life to be a comedian?
I mean, I've been doing this for like 22 hard years. I was in college. I'm from New York, and then I went to high school in Maine. I went to like a prep school. Like I got sent away to like a boarding school for kids who had misguided energy, to put it nicely. And I wrestled in high school. And I just fell in love with that sport. And I wanted to that was like the greatest thing I ever did was wrestling. First time I ever felt really good about my life. I was in a really bad place. And then when I was in college, I kind of got burned out of wrestling. I didn't like losing weight. I kind of just fizzled out. I went to SUNY Binghamton, and I wanted to prove that I could do well in college because I was a 4-time New England prep school champion, but there was like always prep school was like an asterisk. So I wanted to prove that I could do well against public school kids. And then I did. I actually beat I was doing really well as a freshman, but I wasn't starting, and I was losing about 18 pounds a week, and I was doing it all the wrong way of just starving myself and sleeping with the window open and just to shiver off weight, and just doing it, just eating like shit, and I kind of just crashed and burned.
Yeah.
But I used to spend my Thursdays. There was like an on-campus television show at Binghamton where you could call in from the dorms, and they would try to talk about race relations or whoever. But I was a 17-year-old wise ass, so I was always calling in and like pranking their show. So they would talk about, we need justice, we need this, and then I would, start by saying, "You're right, there's not enough social justice, and we need better police reform." And they'd be like, "What's your name?" And I would be like, "Devane." And like, "Who?" And I'd be like, "Devane, my dick." And hang up the phone. But this was like, to me, this was like the funniest thing ever. I thought this was like this was just the best. So eventually I asked for my own show. What happened was when I got done wrestling, I'm like, I got to do something with my life. I can't just be like a bum. So I went down and I asked people at SUNY Binghamton, "Hey, can I have my own talk show?" And they said yes. I don't even know why they said yes. So I like pretended to like learn the equipment, and I had a couple of my buddies that were like on the wrestling team as like my co-hosts, and we called it D's Nuts. That was my phone's about to die. I'm actually looking for a charger. So it was called D's Nuts, and there was like no real point of the show. It was just like people calling in and just talking shit. And I had like a monologue. I had like a Budweiser chick model and a couple guys in the wrestling team and a couple frat boys. Well, on like our first show, people started doing what I was doing to them. They were calling me up like, "Are you Vanilla Ice or Corey Haim? Or are you, just being a complete dick? Like, what's wrong with your cauliflower ear? And why do you have broccoli head?" Or it was going horrible. Like, I actually didn't really plan this out. I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of girls telling me how good looking I was, and it was not that at all. So, but what ended up happening was I was having a lot of fun with it. It was actually turned out to be a lot of fun, but this girl came on the show and she was like, "I see you at the gym and you always talk smack about me. You always check me out." I don't know who this girl was, but she's like, "My name is Hannah and everyone's going to talk shit about me anyway. They can go right ahead." So now the whole school is now talking smack about this girl, Hannah.
Oh, shit.
So I guess people knew her and they were like, "Hannah, I went back to your room and you wouldn't let me touch your boobs." And so now it's going back and forth between her and this guy named Seth, who's like, "Hannah, I came back to your room one night and I was drunk." And then she's like, "That guy's a fat ass." So now like this is going, it's like Jerry Springer basically on my first talk show, which is called D's Nuts, right? That was the name of the show, called D's Nuts. So what ended up happening was Hannah came down to defend herself live on the air while we're people are calling in, and then the whole school is watching, talking smack about Hannah. They're like, "Can I park my car up your snatch?" and this and that. And it was like really funny. Like I was legitimately like laughing and having a great time. But also I was sticking up for the girl. I'm like, "Hey, she came on the show and give her a lot of credit. And a lot of people don't come on my show." And then the kid Seth came on after she left, and he was like this. He came on drunk and he was like, "This is the ass." And Hannah called. So the thing after that, like, there was like basically people were like rioting almost and like chanting her name.
Oh my God.
So she ended up suing the school for $20 million and suing me for $20 million and suing Seth for $20 million. And so now I had it went to the Supreme Court of Brooklyn, and they canceled all the shows after that. There were no more shows. So, and like I come home from school from break, my dad's like, "Can't you just go to class like everyone else? You got $20 million lawsuit against you."
How much was each one of your nuts worth to sell?
Yeah. Like, right. So then plus they were like, so that was the end of talk shows. Then there were no more shows on Binghamton Television. And they had to have disclaimers like 8 months later, and it got thrown out of court. But
That's good.
I was like, man, I was like laughing so much during that show. I'm like, I want to do this for a living. I want to be a talk show host. So, well, cut to like actually the next week, I was the most famous kid on campus. Like everyone knew me as the kid from D's Nuts, and half the school wanted to beat me up because I pretty much challenged them to fights when they were talking shit. I was like, "Yeah, come down here, I'll beat your ass." Blah blah. So what ended up happening was I joined a fraternity so I can get friends quickly, and I hated being in a frat. That was the wrong reason to be in a frat, is because everyone hates you because of D's Nuts. And then there was a girl that I was trying to pick up at breakfast, and she was giving lessons. She was giving tryouts for the black dance repertoire. This hot girl named Tatiana, and I'm like, oh, can I try out? And she's like, sure. So I actually tried out as a joke and made the team.
Oh,
I actually made the black dance team, but because I'm pledging of fraternity and I hated it, I can get out of pledging by going to black dance practice. So that year, I actually won most dedicated member of the black dance repertoire.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
But anyway, so after that, I'm like, I want my own talk show. So I essentially dropped out of college and was like, I want to be a comedian because and an actor because the quickest way to get a talk show. And then that was like I was after my sophomore year. It was my sophomore year. Yeah, my sophomore year. And then so then I went back to New York, back to the city, and I was going to Hofstra, and I started doing comedy stand up because I was sitting in acting class, just kind of bored, and I like my ADD wasn't letting me sit still. And I'm like, well, I was making everyone laugh the whole time. So I took a couple comedy classes and I started doing comedy anywhere. I mean, I was doing comedy in laundromats and supermarkets and donut shops. And actually, this girl saw me at the comic strip because I wanted to get to the comic strip, and she was like, "There's an MTV show where they'll follow you around on your journey." So within a year, I was on MTV's True Life. I'm a Comic, and people they followed me around while I was giving out flyers and in Times Square. I mean, that was the thing. You know, in New York, it's really hard to get stage time. This is like 20 years ago. It's like easier now, kind of. So there's like bringer shows where if you bring 20 people, you could perform, but you run out of friends really quick because people are just know that you just want to be their friend so that they could watch you perform and then they could spend money. And I'd end up buying everyone drinks, and I ended up losing like $300 every time I wanted to do a 5-minute set. Yeah. So then this woman named Gladys was like, "Hey," I did her open mic at Hamburger Harry's, and she was like, "Hey, you're pretty good. Want to give out flyers for the place? You could work for free and give out flyers." And I thought that was like the best deal ever because I didn't have to bring people. So it was like me and this comic named Dave Rubin, who's like pretty big now, and like Jim Gaffigan was there beforehand, and Melissa Rauch was a flyer giver. She's on from The Big Bang Theory. And people like did pretty well from like our like class. And we give out flyers every night in Times Square, and we would trick tourists and be like, "Hey, there's a comedy show tonight. You know, comics from MTV and Comedy Central and Conan," but it was just us. And then they would come and then see us on stage, and they would get annoyed and be like, "This is the guy that gave me the fucking flyer." But at that point, they were already in. So then I actually opened up my own club across the street because I was like, well, at least I can get paid at my own club and I can pay people. So I opened up a club at Joe Franklin's on 8th Avenue. Me and Dave Rubin did. And I was doing okay in like New York for a while, but I just got to a point where I was so bad in the beginning, the people that saw me like at clubs didn't want to have anything to do with me really. Because even if I got better. And then I like won a contest, like funniest comic in New York, but it was like fixed. My manager ran the club. I didn't even enter the contest. I did one set, but they flew me out to LA as like the prize.
Oh shit!
And then this guy named Anthony Clark, who was on a show called Yes Dear, was like, "Hey, you should move out here," because I had a really good set at the Improv. That was it. And at that time, I was giving out flyers. I was working at the Culture Club in New York, which was like an '80s club, where I was giving lap dances to girls. I was in a play where I had to give lap dances to girls. Which I actually like that because I was making money. And then I was a shot boy where I sold shots at night till 3:00 in the morning with a pink headband and a tank top that said Woody the Shot Boy, which was fun until like fucking assholes from Staten Island would be like, "Yo, you're a fag," or whatever. And then I snapped my finger and the bouncers would throw them out. And I had to get escorted to like the taxi after it. Like because I was making the money at the club, a lot of money. I was selling bottles. Yeah. So then I moved out to LA and I had no money. I was driving a car. I was renting a car from a place called Rent a Wreck, where you literally could rent a wreck. Like the car that they gave me, the speedometer didn't even go past 40. I didn't even know how fast I was going. And it would just break down, and then they would give you another fucking terrible car with a punch buggy. But I opened up my own club out in LA, like on my own room. I walked around UCLA and told college kids that there was a bunch of stars going to be at this club because I knew if I got hot girls to show up, that I would get good comics. Yeah. And that's what happened. Before you know it, I had Chelsea Handler and the Wayans brothers and Dane Cook and these people were all doing Jeff Ross. They were all doing my club, and then I got on Craig Kilborn, and I got on a Showtime show called White Boys in the Hood, which is like white comics performing for black people, for black audience members. Although it wasn't really the hood, it was like, you know, Columbus Circle. And then
Gary Owens kind of stuff.
yeah, and then I actually auditioned for Last Comic Standing 3 times, and kept getting kicked off the show. But not even they wouldn't tell you what. I would get past a certain round, they'd be like, "You're in the finals," and then they would call me up like, "You're off the show," and I'd be like, "Why?" And they'd say, "Well, you signed the contract saying we can kick you off at any time." So that was another fucking disaster until finally, like the 3rd time they put me through, because I pretended I was going to be the biggest asshole on the show. I went in telling everyone that they all sucked and I'd be the bad guy. And they put me through. And then when I got into the house, I was nice to everybody. And every time they interviewed me, I would just mention that I worked with kids who had cancer, so that way they couldn't edit me to look bad. But then they stopped interviewing me and getting me food too. But that's a whole other fucking, that's another podcast. So I got on. I remember being on Last Comic Standing, and you know the winner was gonna get like $500,000 or something. But at the time, I had so many checks that were bouncing while I was on the show that I just wanted to get to the next episode to make like $1,500. Yeah. Like that was what I was like. I was just happy about the episodes. But then I got on Last Comic, and then I toured the world. You know, in the meantime, I was doing all kinds of military tours and been to Japan and Korea and Abu Dhabi and China. I was in Wuhan. Actually, did comedy in Wuhan, China, and Africa, and you know, Djibouti, Africa, and I've been everywhere doing a lot of military tours. And then I got on the Tonight Show twice, actually. The first time, I had like one day they called me up to like, want to do it tomorrow. And then the second time they actually called me day of the show. I was on my way to Coach Wrestling. They said, "Could you be here in an hour?" So I said, "Sure." And then I stopped off at Old Navy, got a clean pair of pants, and did the Tonight Show that day.
Hell yeah!
And then since then I've been like, I got filming a special in December, and just got a baby and just working, and just it's a constant grind.
Yeah,
constant grind.
Wow, sounds like it. You know, and it's an art form, so I'm sure it takes a lot of mental power to get your set just right and all that stuff. So
yeah,
man, that's. Thank you so much for telling all that. That was unbelievable, Adam. You just definitely most entertainment we've had on the show so far. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely like each one of those little. I abbreviate a lot of that. Like, there's actually like,
yeah, I bet.
there's crazy stories within those stories.
So how many you had said you were doing at laundromats, and those were open mics, I'm guessing, right?
No, those were actually book shows. I remember doing those with like Dimitri Martin, and like they were like really good comics on those shows. But yeah, no, those were like this couple, Jody and Danny and Jody, Danny Cohen and Jody Wasserman used to run these rooms like just in ridiculous places. And I remember they had it at a Krispy Kreme donut shop, but then homeless people would show up just to get the donuts. Yeah. But then somebody threw a donut at one of the comics, and they had to cancel that show.
Oh my god!
And then the supermarket was actually the hardest because it was right in front of the checkouts. It was on 57th and like, so if you held up the line, it meant you were like doing well. And then and those were just fun though. Like I was just having fun back then. You know, like it was you know, when you're just starting something out, and like that whole world was so big, and I go to the cellar every night, and I would end up like at night I'd play basketball with like, you know, Patrice O'Neal and Colin Quinn and Kevin Hart, who was like amazing at basketball, and Rich Voss, and those guys. We would play like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and Robert Kelly, and like I was like 21, so I had more energy than everybody. You know, they called me Open Mike. That was my name. But those were just fun days. You know, it's like sometimes like I think back and like, you know, I look at the key is to like not look at other comics, not look at other people, and being like, why aren't I there? You know, like why isn't my podcast number 1 on this? Or why aren't I Joe Rogan? Or somebody said like, why aren't you a household? But you know, like it's easy to just get to fall into that, you know, like negativity. But then I'm like, well, you know, I went from literally from a laundromats to having like a billboard in Vegas, you know, or being on the Tonight Show or doing this, you know, so it's like, you have to look at your own journey. And I think too many people, they compare themselves to other people. And it's not like if that person goes away, I'm going to get any better. You know, people like they think that like, oh, if this person falls and you get launched up, and that's not how it works. At least in my experience, you know. So it's just a matter of just finding your own lane, you know, and also of you know, forcing yourself in putting yourself in bad situations, you know, doing even like people comics like I'm not doing Zoom shows. Like Zoom shows suck, but you get so much better doing them.
Yeah.
You know, I did a show in a park the other night. I did a show, you know, here. It's just it's all I did cruise ships for years. It was on cruises, you know, and they were like, it's really easy to be like, well, you know, I should be at, you know, this theater or I should be at this hall, but I'm like, these are you're still in front of people.
Yeah. Like
people, if there's people on a cruise, there'd be people at a theater. It's not like there are any better people.
Yeah.
You know, it's still in front of 1,000 people that week. It's not like, so it's just funny. It's very easy to get caught up in that. And that's the really, like, I think the key to success is to just not give a shit what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Or what everyone else thinks. You know, like with social media now, so many people are just so quick to like call somebody, oh, look where you are. Like who cares? Like who gives a fuck? Like where are you?
Right.
Like you're on the internet talking to me. You know, like you're in my YouTube comments.
Yeah.
You know, like why should I, like, come on.
Oh.
So that's, you know, but it's funny though, because at every level, you know, like I was opening up for Russell Peters in front of like 3,000 people, 5,000, taking private jets. And even Russell sometimes was like, oh, you know, looking at other people and going, and I'm just like, bro, like we're in a private jet right now.
Right.
You know?
Wow.
So
kind of just enjoy the ride, because I mean, who cares where you are compared to other people? Because like, dude, you from the sound of it, you've had a pretty crazy ride to get you where, even just being right here, you know?
Oh no, but I mean, there's so much of it, man. Like I got booked in England, and I flew to England, and then like the guy sent me like 4,000 emails, and then one of the emails like said like, when you get here, don't tell customs that you're there for a show. And I didn't look at that one. So I got there and they're like, what are you here? I'm like, oh, I'm here for a show. They made a phone call, and then they detained me and sent me home.
Oh shit.
And
Jesus
like
Christ.
I didn't get paid.
Oh.
So that was like a 15-hour flight home. You know, I remember I was in Africa, and this comic was like talking shit to me the whole time and telling me like, he was like the replacement. I had to cover his time. He wasn't doing his time on stage. He was bombing every night. I had to like lend him money. He was just always making fun of me. Just so we get there, and I was over it. And we were in front of the troops, and he started calling me. He's like, yeah, this guy's Adam's gay, or Adam sucks. So I go, really? So I took his hat and like threw it down over his head, and then he like kind of charged me. So I like hip tossed him on his head, and this is like in front of all the military guys. Like the show was like the next day, and then the sergeant like took both of us into a closet, and he's like, I'm gonna treat you like I do my boys. I'm either gonna take your money, or I'm gonna punch you in the stomach. And this is in Djibouti, Africa. So I was like, the guy had no money, so he was taking my money. So I was like, punch us. So the dude punched us both in the stomach, which didn't even hurt, because I was just happy I threw the other guy in his head. And the guy was like, I deserve that. But I'm like thinking to myself, like, I'm in Djibouti, Africa. It's like Thanksgiving, and I'm in a closet getting punched by Sergeant Haggerty. Like, how many fucking wrong turns did I make to get to this point? But like, I mean, there's been so many gigs. Like, there was a gig I did in Tennessee where the booker said he mailed me the check. I never got it. So he's like, when you get here to Tennessee, drive, and I'll leave the check in my office. So I drove 4 hours from like Chattanooga to Nashville. I get to his office. There's a check there. I go to the bank to cash it. This is like, for like $4,000 or $5,000. The check bounces there. They threaten to call the cops, like, because I said I was, cashing a fraud check. I still have to go to the gig. I got to the gig. They told me that it was a Christian Episcopalian, like some kind of crazy school that I had to do squeaky clean comedy.
Oh, man.
And then they had, the opener was like, it was like they were playing like bingo or something, and like singing nursery rhymes, and then I get there, and the lady was like, "Hey, if I go like this, it means you're too dirty." And I was, at that point, I didn't even have any clean jokes. Like, so my first joke in, she's giving me the slap. So I was like, fuck it. So I just did all these jokes. The crowd's dying laughing. I get off stage. The lady makes a fucking beeline for me, ready to. Luckily, her boyfriend was there, and he had like an army shirt, so I could tell he was laughing. And she's like, "How dare you?" I go, "Just so you know, the booker fucking bounced my check. It cost me like $500 to get here. I just drove 7 hours today. I could have just went home, and then you would have got in trouble for booking a comic that didn't show up." So, yeah. And then she was like, "Okay, but and then I had to, sue that guy to get the money. I mean, there's just like, there's so many gigs. I remember doing a gig in Arizona where they threw me out after the first night. They said I was too dirty, and I was driving home, and I think I was getting like $300 for the week, but it would cost me like $500 to drive there and gas. And then my car, I hit a flat tire, but there's no even like side road, so I'm fixing my tire, and cars are whizzing by me. There's a moon, obviously, and I look at the moon. There's a sign that said like Arizona State Prison, do not pick up hitchhikers. I'm like, great, like that's like, I mean, I did a college one time in Buffalo that was sponsored by the Cancer Society, so they had like a video of all these like kids that died of leukemia, like before the show, like a 10-minute video, and they at the end they go like they told you how old the kid was and what he died. So now the whole crowd's crying, and they're like, "Time to bring on the comic," so it's just timing. Like,
Oh, man.
I mean, it's just
Awful.
I couldn't tell you how many like gigs like that I've had, but it just makes you stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you strong, makes you better, and those are always like the funny stories too.
Right.
I was gonna ask you, Adam. I'm 28 and I'm still trying to find like my like way in life. And we just started this podcast not too long ago, and there's been, this is our 8th episode, and we've had a lot of highs and lows. Like, we started out on a bang, and sharing it everywhere, and good energy. But as the weeks go by, life kind of settles in where like I'm still, we're still working our everyday job, and not like I do construction, not something I want to do at all. But I mean, if you could give any like words of wisdom, which you kind of already just did, but like just having that self-belief to know that it's gonna all work out in the end, like because I'm sure you said from 17. You can still hear me, right, my friend? Oh, his phone must have died. His phone probably died. I think his phone died. But what a fucking guest, man. Adam Hunter, comedian. As you heard, he's opened up for some big names. Host of the MMA Roasted podcast. And holy shit.
That's some energy right there.
That's some real fucking energy, real motivation. I mean, he was just saying all the lows that he went through and all the bullshit that he had to go through, and for it to all still work out. Yeah. I mean, that was unbelievable. Yeah. That was unbelievable.
What a journey, huh?
What a journey.
I wanted to ask him about what it's like. He's been doing this for so long, 20 years ago. What it's like now in a society where everybody's fucking offended by everything.
I know.
What's that challenge been like?
Yeah.
Being a comic, but I guess that's a question for another day.
Oh, we will definitely bring him on again. That was
awesome.
That was awesome. That was unreal. Travis just threw me a bottle of water right before we interviewed him, and I almost peed my pants. I mean, that was legit, man.
Yeah. But I resonate with a lot of that too, like just the gigs in front of nobody, the gigs and like the awkward gigs, stuff like that. I used to play I played to 3 people last night. I'm a professional musician. I played to 3 people who have seen me play the same fucking 30 songs week after week or week, and those 3 people were there to watch me again. It was a room full of just them. But it happens. That's part of the journey.
Well, how crazy is it that he's open for all these guests, and here he is, on the Most Important Things podcast.
Chat with us.
That's some real shit, man. Yeah, I mean, he's been around Kevin Hart, Dane Cook, all the names that he mentioned, and man, we couldn't, we thanked him before, but I truly wanted to thank him, and hopefully he'll see this afterwards. And man, freaking unbelievable. Jim Gaffigan, freaking Dane Cook, like, dude, the guy opened up for some big freaking names.
Hell yeah.
And been a part of their shows, and people that Chelsea Handler, he said, like, Holy shit.
Vintage Dane Cook is the best.
Yeah, he was.
Old school Dane Cook. I mean, these days he's not that funny.
Yeah.
But I just remember, what was it?
The
Christ
BK
checks.
Lounge.
Christ checks. Remember Christ checks?
No.
When you go to church every Sunday and they give you the fucking body of the Christ. And he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, Christ checks. He
Oh,
was
no.
like, called it like fucking cereal of God.
I know he said PCs, Reese's PCs or something.
yeah.
Oh,
good shit.
man.
Well, hey, it's been a hell of a day.
Been a hell of a podcast. Hell of a way to end it. Truly grateful for Adam Hunter to come on the podcast, share some laughs, bring some true entertainment. I mean, this episode has been full of fire, my man. It's been full of fire, full of wet gems, and you know, all we needed to bring on was Adam Sandler too, get some uncut gems. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah. That's fun.
So yeah, let's wrap it up. Bobby, any closing words, my man?
Be mindful in your everyday decisions.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching, everybody. You know, before I say my little catchphrase out of here, I don't know what else to say. I don't even want the show to end because I feel like it's been so damn good. But all good things must come to an end. Until next time, I hope everyone has a great day today, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, let's get him back on because that was unbelievable.
Now, guys, hear me?
Hey.
Yep, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry about that. My daughter was using the charger for the iPad and
Oh,
the
good.
phone died.
Oh man, freaking, it's all good. Man, thank you so much for your time. I just had one question and he had one question. Let me see. It was, you know, I'm 28 years old. We just started this podcast. I think that's where we kind of left off, and I'm still trying to find my way of life right now. But I truly believe in following what you believe in, and I feel like, you know, in high school your freshman year of college, you realize that comedy is what I want to do, and through your journey, you've been through a lot of ups and downs. To our listeners, man, like, you already gave us a lot of words of wisdom, but what can you tell people, including me, to just keep pushing forward, keep believing in what you believe in, and everything will work out?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best job you can get is one that you would do for free, that you get paid for. You know, like everything that I get paid for, whether it's stand-up comedy, podcasting, or, you know, writing sketches for the award shows, or acting, or, because I wrote a pilot and I produced a couple TV shows. It's all stuff that I would do for free, and that I did do for free to get there.
Yeah.
You know, I think too many people, they worry about the money first. They go, how much am I getting paid for this? And then that stops them from actually doing something that they would enjoy. So people always ask me, oh, I want to do a podcast, but what am I going to make? Or they go, oh, yeah, Joe Rogan made $500 million. You know, like, shouldn't I be making that? And I go, fuck it. Joe Rogan's doing it for a long time. He's also the best. But also, like, Joe Rogan just he has who he wants to talk to on his podcast.
Right.
He's not, I think something that you can learn from him is that he's not obligated to have anybody on.
Yeah.
He has who he wants to have on. And I think that if people do something that makes them happy, the money will come. And, you know, it's one of those things where, like, when I get to do comedy, I'm excited about it. Like, I'm like, oh, I get to do comedy tonight. Whereas a lot of people, like, they get called into work, they're like, fuck, I got to work today.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So I think that it's like, enjoy your life, enjoy what you do. You'll never work a day in your life. And that's kind of, that's my thing. And also just to be around people that are going to support that.
Definitely.
You know, a lot of times people, they marry people or they're with people that don't get what they're doing. And that's always going to be an issue. So I know my wife, there were times I was quitting. So I was like, fuck this, you know, and she was like, no, you're not quitting. You're too good for that. And I was like, and I thanked her, because I really was going to be like, think about just, you know, so being around somebody that, like, pushes you to stick doing what you do. I mean, that's really important. Yeah. And also, like, a lot of times, you know, with my podcast, I interview fighters, and I've become friends with a lot of fighters. And so many times people have podcasts and they just want to interview the winners of the fights. Like, the guy wins a fight, or they just, you know, but I always make sure that whoever loses, I always, like, compliment the winner, obviously, if they win, but I am always, like, DMing the person who lost to, like, keep going, you know, keep your head up. I'm a fan, because I think people will always remember that. that you were there for them when other people weren't. I mean, granted, I've had people that I've had on when they were nobody, or they've asked me, hey, can you tweet this or do that? Or can you push that? And then all of a sudden they're the champ and they're like, my manager, talk to my manager. And I'm like, really? Like, you weren't fucking, but that's very few, far between. More people, it's like, hey, shit, yeah, I'll do it. You were there for me when no one was fucking there for me, And so I think that's really important, is to be around people regardless. Just be nice to people. Like, I'll never forget people that were nice to me, the comics, like the guys like Judah Friedlander, DC Benny, Godfrey. These guys were like really nice, regardless of what level they were at and what level I was at, versus the people that are only nice to you and you could do something for them.
Yeah, that's important. And we're seeing a common theme, I guess, in all of our guests as well. That, a lot of people saying the same stuff as far as how to be successful in whatever it is they're doing. I wanted to ask you about comedy specifically, and you said you've been doing this for a super long time, 20 plus years. Everybody in this world is offended by fucking everything in this world. So how has that changed for you? Because 20 years ago, you could probably be as dirty as you want, and only a handful of people would get offended by it. But these days, it seems like
it really hasn't changed at all on stage.
Yeah,
because on stage, like, the people come, and if they get offended, very, very few people now are like, they kind of know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes unfortunately, you get that one or two person that like writes a letter and or an email, and then you're just like, there are certain club owners that are still going to be like, hey, listen, you gotta the manager, but it's when it's not on stage. It's like when on like Twitter. Yeah. Twitter used to be a great place to try out jokes.
Yeah, not anymore.
And now it's a great place to get you fired. So canceled. Having to like remembering that Twitter is not a comedy club. Yeah. So you could do a lot of jokes that like would do really well on stage, and then that's just not going to work at a comedy club.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's really it. I mean, people aren't. I haven't had that many people get offended. The older I get, I think about, because people are just they're not coming.
Yeah.
If you're that kind of person, or they can YouTube me before and be like, oh, this is not the comic that I'm going to get. I'll go see Hannah Gatsby or whatever.
Yeah, makes sense.
No doubt, man. I want to jump back to what you just said, where you text the losers of the fights, and people will only do something for you if you feel like you're getting. They feel like they're getting something in return. That's why I want to thank you so much for your time, my man, because, we're just two nobodies, essentially, and you're, highly successful. You've been here, there, and everywhere, and now here you are on our podcast, which we truly appreciate, my man, and I hope we can build to a level to know, you were here for us in the beginning, and be like, yo, Adam Hunter, he was there, on episode 8, and we hope to, have episode 200 someday, and keep bringing you on, because man, you come with the fire. I knew you were gonna come with the fire. That's why I reached out. But man,
thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, truly grateful.
Yeah, thanks so much for your time, and I wish you all the best in these crazy times.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Hey, thank you
Thanks,
again,
man.
brother. All right, no doubt. We were recording, right? All right, so
sure were.
Yeah, so you got the whole thing on tape, right? When he jumped back on.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I would just do your ending over again, and then you can splice this together.
I know. I just want to play it. Just play it all as is. We're gonna end this right now with a second ending, because Adam Hunter happened to jump back on. Thank you so much, my friend. I can't thank him enough. I honestly feel like we could have talked to him for another hour or two.
Absolutely.
And he gave us all the time that we needed. I mean, I don't know how long, but we'll figure that out after. Everyone have a great day today once again, and I will talk to you soon.
Jump in, the water's fine, it's a celebration. No, we ain't stressing cause we on vacation. Not a care in the world today, baby.